Shortly after the House of Representatives was inaugurated and the leadership of the House emerged, the lawmakers rolled out what they called a legislative agenda, promising to be different from the former House, which was dogged by a series of controversy. Who were even told by the new members that they had slashed their jumbo pay and that they were beginning on a new slate. But a recent decision by the new House to buy brand new cars for members to aid their legislative work is beginning to raise eyebrows once again. Now, cast your mind back to the last House and the alleged car scam, and you would understand why eyebrows are being raised. Joining me now from our Abuja studio to talk about this issue and a lot more is the chairman of the House Committee on Information and Publicity, Mr. Zakari Mohammed. Thank you very much, Honorable Zakari Mohammed, for joining us on the program. The new cars you are planning to buy for the House, for members now, why do you need those cars? What about the cars used by the previous House, for legislative work?
Yeah, thank you very much, Deji. I think for once, it's always it's good that this opportunity is given to us as Nigerians, and let's cast our mind back to the beginning of democracy of 1999. Going through the books, you discover that the House committees function on borrowed vehicles. What I mean borrowed vehicles mean that if you are going for oversight function, for instance, in the Nigerian Ports Authority, you will rely on Nigerian Ports Authority to give you vehicles and, of course, give you extend some other services to you. And we're saying that if, as a country, we actually want to function properly and going by our legislative agenda, we definitely must be, as an arm of government, as independent as possible. So, going forward, we say that those vehicles are not vehicles meant for members. No. Those vehicles are vehicles for the property of the National Assembly. They are property of the National Assembly for committee use. So I think we need to get something very, very clear here, and that's exactly what we're saying. We're saying that vehicles that will be meant to carry out these oversight functions. We believe that oversight is an integral part of legislation.
Now, the reason I asked you that question is just because, the last House also bought vehicles like this. They said, the vehicles they bought, that they were actually going to use them for legislative work, that the vehicles were not actually their personal vehicles. And now you're buying, new vehicles for, legislative work for your members again.
Deji, I'm not a part of the 6th Assembly. And I want to say that as far as we're concerned, we have said that we're keeping Nigerians in trust, and Nigerians should trust that they have truly represented, we are their true representatives. They have sent us here to carry out a function before man and God. And we said, as a matter of fact, this job must be done conscientiously. So I cannot speak for the 6th Assembly, but I'm aware that if there are vehicles that are available, definitely the 7th Assembly would take up responsibilities and to take up expenses according to needs. And that we have exhibited. And that was why it was awash everywhere that the 7th Assembly was broke. It was because of our low-profile lifestyle.
I'm going to ask you that. Are you really broke in the House?
You see, when you don't go extravagant, you are seen as being very broke. We told you in our legislative agenda that we are going to responsibly take on the issue of fiscal conservatism. And that, of course, means that what we don't need, we won't ask for. What we need, we will ask for. And
so
that's
it's not
exactly
true that the House of Representatives is broke. It's just that you're being conservative with the way you spend money.
That is exactly why people think that the old order has changed. It means that the House is broke. If a man or an organization cannot meet up its financial obligation, it is now said to be broke. But if we are meeting all our financial obligations, then we are not broke. We are only changing our lifestyles and, of course, the way we do business. We believe that Nigeria is a project, and we need all hands on deck to be able to deliver Project Nigeria. And it's not about funfair, it's not about dancing and all that, because our case calls for serious attention. And we as Nigerians, as young Nigerians, believe that the future of this country must be modeled towards what we're doing. The Tambuwal-led administration, whether you like it or not, came in as a popular government, popular leadership in the House. Emeka Ihedioha, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal were elected across party lines. And Nigerians for once have resolved that party affiliation should be put aside and let's for once put Nigeria project in the front burners of development. And that's exactly what we exhibited. And from 6th of June since we came in, we have tackled all issues having to do with Nigerians rather very seriously. And I want to say that Nigerians should judge us by all that we do and not by all that it's been said.
All right, let me ask you this, Honorable. I must congratulate, I must commend you for taking the decision to cut down on your salary, to just cut your salary now, as we've been told in the, by some members in the past. The leadership of the House has actually come out to say, well, that, members of the House of Representatives have decided to take pay cuts, so to speak. But can you just let us know how much exactly you're cutting from your pay? How significant is this cut?
Okay, we have cut our running costs in the House by 63%. That's exactly what we did. And that's why I link it up to the fact that they're saying the House is broke. Because we cut down our processes and what we earned by 63%, people will now believe that it was no more business as usual. And that's why you keep people saying that the House is broke. And I tell you that we're doing that sincerely before Ma and God and Nigerians. We are on oath. And I'm sure that in the course of time, we as an arm of government, and of course the Green Chambers, have said that we have reduced our cost of running the National Assembly by 63%. I'm sure the Senate has done one about 40%. So we're now throwing the challenge to other arms of government. If we must conserve funds for the development of Nigeria, because I liken Nigeria to a patient in an emergency ward. So all expertise, all professionals must be brought on board to be able to deliver the patient so that he can stand on his 2 feet. And that's exactly what we're doing. It's no longer business as usual in the 7th Assembly. And that's we had, in the past, there was nothing like an agenda. But we decided that we must have an agenda by which we should be judged at the expiration of our tenure.
Now, talking about business as usual, sorry to cut you there, talking about business as usual, we know in the previous House we saw quite a lot of probes conducted, but at the end of the day, we never saw the results or the outcome of those probes. Now you have started. The current House is, is carrying out a lot of probe, and a good example is that one where you are investigating the Finance Ministry now over the single, is it the single Windows system or so? Are we going to see anything different this time? Are we going to see actions taken after investigations or panels or probe panels have concluded their sittings?
Deji, I must use this medium to tell you that as far as we're concerned, all probe panels that this 7th Assembly has engaged upon would bring out to Nigerians. The FIO bill is no longer a bill, it's a law, it's an act. It's been passed. So you have access to information. There is no hide and seek about this. If the committee is working variously on one form of investigation or the other comes out, our investigation will be made public to Nigerians because we owe you a duty, and that's the basis on which we'll be judged. I want to say, without mincing words, that all these panels, all these committees will come up with their findings and will play it there. We are not running in a haste to nail anybody. No, it's about engaging ourselves, and engagement means having to find out. Nobody is accusing anybody of fraud, but we will find out if monies that were budgeted for were applied for certain purposes or certain activities. At the end of the day, Nigerians will be told what we have been able to find out. So I cannot just, I keep saying, I wasn't a member of the 6th Assembly. I cannot speak for them, but I can speak for the 7th Assembly. I know that we have a leadership that is very, very focused. We have a membership that is determined to once and for all be able to stamp out all forms of cuts into our system, because it's appalling. It's to be wondered that a lot of infrastructure in our country failed due to certain selfish reasons elsewhere.
Just before I let you go, let me just ask you this thing, because this is generating serious controversy out there in the public. The issue of the plan by the federal government now to withdraw subsidy on petrol. Of course, that is not before the House as we speak, but we've seen the Senate come out, you know, we've seen some senators come out to say, well, that they may just not be supporting that initiative from the presidency. How do you think, you know, the issue of subsidy will play out in the House of Representatives when it is tabled before you?
Yeah, you know, DJ, I will not be able to foretell, but I just know that whatever will be in the interest of Nigerians, whatever will be in the interest of the common man on the street, whatever will be in the interest of our electorate is what the House will stand. We have not taken a position. We have not debated this matter. When it comes to us, we will debate, and at the end of the day, we will take a decision based on our approach and the impact we think it will give to Nigerians. We would definitely be on the part of the people, but we have not taken a decision. We have not debated.
All right.
When we take a debate, well, I'll be better placed to be able to answer your question in detail.
All right.
And to say that I want to make further clarification on the cards because
very briefly, because we're running out of time.
We have not even decided. Okay, we have not decided on the brand of cards and even the number. So we should definitely allow ourselves to do.
You're not buying the cards for all the members in the House?
I said we have not decided on the number and the brand of cars.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Zachary Mohammed, spokesperson of the House of Representatives. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.